leading their horses all the way to Mr. Ben Madison's ranchero, as their mounts went lame riding over this harsh country. It was Mr. Madison's beeves that the raiders rustled, and now Mr. Madison had to loan your 3 rangers' horses so they could return to Purgatory City. Your commander, Major McDonald, has informed me that he just received a bill for those horses, since they have not been returned, for $150. You and your 3 footsore rangers can only be relieved that the rancher did not swear out a complaint for horse theft. 3. 2 civilian scouts, hired without authority for Major McDonald's office, apparently got lost in the rugged country. According to your report, after 3 days of searching, the scouts were given up for dead. 4. On the 7th day in the Big Bend, according to this report, having ridden into dead end after dead end and barely finding your way back to the main trail yourselves, this Ranger Expeditionary Force was attacked by what you call hostile Apaches. As Brigadier Marshall so succinctly put it, hostile Apaches is redundant. Were you unaware that a band of Apache warriors is also holed up in the Big Bend? Colonel John Caxton at Fort Spalding near Purgatory City has had no luck flushing those Apaches out of that God-forsaken country either. But since the Apaches also seem to prefer raiding south of the Rio Grande, Colonel Caxton at least has the brains not to send his troops into the Big Bend country on what amounts to a suicide mission. 5. The ambush by the Apaches cost you a mule laden with food stores and a mule laden with ammunition. Captain, I must commend you for giving arms and food to an enemy of the people of our state, and even an enemy of those peons below the Rio Grande. To your credit, and I remember how gallantly you served in the late rebellion under General Hastings, God remember his name and the glory he reaped at Fredericksburg. You suffered only 4 casualties, of which only 1 was killed. Killed, by your best estimation, by friendly fire. 6. Over the next 2 days you sustained 1 more casualty when a young ranger fell into a hot spring and was severely scalded. You said in this report that he is expected to recover, although his face will no longer be admired by his sweetheart, and that he still screams whenever he rolls over. 7. A rabid coyote ran off 2 more horses, leaving 2 more rangers afoot. They were ordered to ride double until one slipped off his horse and broke his left leg in 3 places after tumbling 77 yards down a rocky slope. He had the good luck, I assume, to at least be able to ride in a travois with some comfort, once all the cactus spines had been removed from his body. This begs the question. I assume the whiskey rations you mentioned in your expense report might be the blame for a Texas Ranger falling off his horse. 8. After 2 weeks without getting any closer to Harry Holland and his marauders than finding ancient tracks and horse droppings that were dried, you decided that you had put a scare into Holland, as he must be hiding. Let me repeat that phrase. Put a scare into an outlaw who you never saw, not even dust from his ponies, and for all you know, neither Harry Holland nor any of his nefarious associates ever knew you were in the general area of his hidden compound. The only ones that knew of your existence, in my estimation, were some Apaches and a coyote, and I can imagine the raven circling over your heads laughing, "Caw, caw, caw, caw." 9. While figuring the way out from the maze that is Texas's Big Bend, you ran out of water at the time you found the main trail again and headed north for Apache Springs. Apache Springs is 20 miles away, according to the Major, but the Rio Grande was probably a quarter-mile south. Can we blame this on sunstroke? 10. Luckily, a severe thunderstorm drenched you and your men that afternoon, bringing some comfort to your command, but not to the pack mule that was struck by lightning. 11. 4 days later you returned to the Rangers' headquarters in Purgatory City, having lost only 1 ranger, so far, unless the 2 men who came down with pneumonia after the monsoon have succumbed by the time this letter reaches you.